Hi guys, welcome to my channel where I talk about everything everyone should know about cybersecurity and how to make the best of it. Today I'm going to be talking about top skills to learn for getting into cybersecurity. There are so many skills, there are so many things we should know if we are endeavoring or are planning to get fully into cybersecurity. But today I'm going to be highlighting the top skills, six of them, about six or seven of skills that you should need to know. If you go online, you see so many skills or that people have mentioned, but today I'm just highlighting 10 things that I think are fundamental, whether you are going to offensive or defensive, or you're just going to be a non-technical cybersecurity person. These are skills that are fundamental that you should know. I'm not saying you cannot get into cybersecurity without knowing having some of these skills, but these skills will make a difference when you have them. So today, we're going to be doing a very short, spend a short time to discuss these skills. And now going straight to the first skill. The first skill you need to learn or you need to acquire or you need to know is research and internet. When I mean internet, I mean how to use the internet. And your researching skills must be top notch. And why am I saying so? Because there's nothing new anybody is doing again. There's absolutely there's literally nothing you are encountering or you want to learn that someone has not learned or someone doesn't have any an information for you. So if you know how to conduct research or to use the internet very well, you'll be good. You'll be able to learn fast. If you run into any trouble, you'll be able to find solutions to it. And some of the things you need to check out when you are using the internet are Google Docs, how to use Google Docs, how to type commands into Google and search out information you want. You need to be able to know how to use ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a new AI that is making real, although there are a lot of other AIs that can give you good information. But if you know how to use ChatGPT, look for prompts online. Once again, search Google, you look for prompts and ask questions. Ask the AI questions. There's literally any issue they are going on or you are facing that you will not find the solution. Learn to use the online communities, Quora, Reddit, and so many other communities. Just ask questions, present your case, tell people that you need social information if you are into cybersecurity, because you will always need this information. You will always need the internet. You will always need to do research. Another thing under this research is documentation. You should learn how to read documentations. For every tool that you have out there, for every software application, there are always documentations. You can get them on GitHub and different places. Learn to read documentation. It's like the manual of want to use a tool and you don't know how to, you didn't go through the manual. So documentations provide a lot of information. Most of the problems that people, run through in cybersecurity, there are already documentations about it. YouTube is there, like I'm watching this video today. YouTube is there, channels, millions of channels have broken down complex situation or complex ideas in cybersecurity. You can easily find solutions to it. So the first skill I would recommend anyone to have or to acquire is research and internet. Being able to use the internet to conduct research on internet and find any information you need on. The second skill I would like to talk about again that you need to learn is operating system and systems administration. So this skill is very crucial because it provides you an understanding of what is going on within every computer, within your computer or within your MacBook or within the device you're using, because every application or every software that you make use of is running on an operating system. I mean, you don't know how to find your way around this, it's going to be difficult for you. So for you to get into cybersecurity, you're going to be dealing with operating systems. So you are going to be a kind of system administrator. So you need to understand system administration. So you need to understand the types of operating systems. We have Linux, Windows, Unix, and so many other ones. You need to have an idea of software installations. You need to understand how to navigate in desktop interface. You need to understand configuration and troubleshooting. So I'm not saying you should become an expert in all these things at the go, but having an understanding, having a fundamental understanding of how these things operate is a skill that you need to learn. Another thing, the next skill I'm going to be talking about is command line. Command line gives you an edge. If you make use of Windows, for instance, Windows has a graphical user interface where things are interpreted with graphics. You want to click a book, maybe a book, you can see the shape of a book, you can see images, graphics that describe what you want to do. But command line interface interfaces directly with the engine of the computer. That means you are speaking directly. You understand where you are going or what you are looking for in the system, and you don't need the graphics, to tell you that, okay, I want to move from a particular drive to another drive, or I want to copy this file from one location to the other. A command line gives an instruction directly to the machine to execute. And there are different command lines, command line interface for different operating system, for different devices. So the basic ones that you need to get familiar with, which will be very useful for you, is bash. We have the bash, we have PowerShell for people who use Windows system, we have the Z for MacBook users. So these are command lines that are very useful for you, or very good, very important for you. If you have this skill of being able to use command line, another thing that command line does is you're able to automate things, because when you are doing a lot of in cybersecurity, there are a lot of repetitive tasks that you do. Maybe you are scanning every day, you need to scan. There's a way command line helps you to be able to automate these things. Can involve a scripting language into command line and give an instruction that is automatically carried. So automation, when you are thinking of automating the tasks you carry out every day, command line will come in very useful. And so command line is a skill that you need to have. Scripting happens within the command line too. So these are skills. This is a particular skill that is very, especially when you are going to offensive. For those who are going to be in the red team, you are going to be, testing vulnerabilities of systems, checking system errors every time. You have to have a grasp of command line, as a skill. Another skill you need to learn is computer hardware and virtual machines. So if you are getting into cybersecurity, it will be very helpful for you if you understand computer hardware. That means you understand what make the makeup of a computer, how a computer is functional. When I mean the hardware, the physical things that you interact with in computer. And virtual machines. Virtual machines give you the opportunity to set up a computer inside a computer, and expands your ability to interact with different computers while you have only one. What am I talking about? So for instance, now if you use a Windows and you understand how to install a virtual machine, so inside your window you can have a Mac, you can have a Unix, you can have a Linux, you can have other operating systems that are not, that you can say they are not native to that machine that you are using. But when you set up a virtual machine, you can create a network within your virtual machine, like I talked about in the last video, home labs. You can safely conduct tests without being afraid that your system will crash. You can open a file that you are not sure of. So virtual machines give you an environment, a kind of safety environment where you can work, as a cybersecurity, and will not be afraid of, damaging your system. So, and there are different types. We have VMs, we have Dockers, we have Kubernetes. So Dockers and Kubernetes are like improvements on the usual virtual machines. The Dockers are lighter in weight. So, and you have different types of virtual machines too. You have virtual machine, you have VMwares, you have things when you have virtual box, like by Oracle, and different types of virtual machines. So in another video, I'm going to be, explaining more details about virtual machines, but you need to understand computer hardware, have a computer hardware and virtual machine as a skill if you are going to cybersecurity. So you need to understand parts of computer, what are different kind of computer accessories, what they are. There are a lot of them now, so you need to understand how to install this computer, on basic installation and configuration. And like I said, you don't need to be an expert in this, but you need to have basic understandings, and you need to know specifications. When they say computer is a i7, is a dual core system, you need to, when they talk about RAMs, talk about SSDs. All this information, all these things should not be alien to you. You should not be asking, what is a RAM, or what is what is an SSD. You'll be able to talk about these things, as a skill in cybersecurity. So the next thing I'll be talking about networking. So you need to understand networking basics too. This is a skill that every cybersecurity person should have a grasp of, because networking enables you to understand how computers communicate. So what happens when you send an email? So if you don't understand what happens when you send an email and an email landed or gets to someone else several kilometers on the across on the other side of the world, if you don't understand the way computers communicate, you will not be able to secure the computers properly. So cyber networking basics is essential. In fact, this is an essential skill that every cybersecurity analyst or cybersecurity person needs to understand. You need to know what is IP addressing, how IP, how computers get the address, how computers know where to send a message to the IP addressing. You need to understand what is web hosting, what are domain names. You need to understand the OSI layers. We have about 7 OSI layer. How email data is sent from the hardware, the physical layer down to the application, to the networking, to the data link layer. So you need to understand OSI layers. And remember, I mentioned that first key you need to know is research. So you can research all these things, you can learn it. And like I said, you don't need to be an expert. So as you move ahead in your cybersecurity journey, you being able to research and make use of the internet will help you to understand these things as you progress. You need to understand, as part of networking basics, you need to understand what a port is, what are sockets. These are all things, network protocols. These are things you need to understand for you to be able to effectively function as a cybersecurity person. Another tool or another skill you need to hone or you need to acquire is programming or scripting languages. So this is key, is a bit more technical, and some people, some aspects of, in fact, a major aspect of cybersecurity might not require you to learn programming languages. But it's another advantage for you if you understand what programming languages are, if you have an understanding. And the popular one that everybody is usually making reference to is the Python, because it's very easy, it's quite, I'll call it user friendly. The language is easy to understand, it's written in simple languages. So for you to learn Python, it's a skill that will be very useful for you as a cybersecurity. And like I said, depending on which aspect of cybersecurity you are going to, you can learn JavaScript, HTML, XML, you understand PHP. These things are a bit tilted. This particular aspect or this particular skill may be required more for some kind of aspect of cybersecurity. For instance, if you are going to kind of GRC, you are dealing with risk management, those things you might not need to learn in these languages. But who says knowing them too can be of help to you while you are doing your work as a GRC or a risk analyst and co. But this is a skill that in cybersecurity, if you are going to be an offensive, going to in the offensive, you want to be a well penetration tester. These skills are, you should have them in your bag. So another thing I'm going to be talking about is cybersecurity awareness. So this is particularly not a skill, but it's a skill. I will call it a skill as well, because being aware is something you must be. I will call it personal digital security. Personal digital security, it's something you need to know. You need to understand basic safety, basic cybersecurity hygiene, password, how to create password. You need to know that you should keep your password safe. You need to know that you should be aware, of different ways that people attack systems, shoulder surfing, different things that cybersecurity entails. Cyber safety, you'll be able to know that, okay, you don't click any link that you see anyhow. These things are basic things. Awareness, you be aware of the kind of different strategies or different ways that attacks happens. You should understand the best practices, especially for those people who are going to GRC, who are going to risk analyst, risk management. you should understand best practices. You understand how to configure, how rules, policies work, privacy policies. You should be familiar with all these things at the basic level. At the minimal level, especially when as you are coming into cybersecurity. These things you build upon it over a period of time. So, but foundationally, you should know them. Then you should be aware of, you should understand terminologies too. These are things you should not, as a cybersecurity person, you should not be where they are discussing cybersecurity and you'll be hearing things like CIA and you'll be wondering what is CIA. They'll be saying things like firewalls, and you'll be saying what is a firewall. These are terminologies you should get familiar with. Another thing you should get aware about is AI. We are in an age of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. This is everywhere today. So if you are getting into cybersecurity and you find yourself while they're having conversation and they mention AI and you don't understand what AI is or how AI works or how AI functions, they talk about IoT, you don't understand what IoT is, you can't comprehend it. You will not be able to flow properly. So I put this as an addition, for something that you should get familiar. And people who don't have any business or deal with cybersecurity, they are aware. So if you are now going into cybersecurity, I think it's a good thing or it's a must for you to have this skill. So thank you for thank you very much. So like I always say, thank you very much. Thank you for listening, for following through. Please, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to this channel. Click the link below, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share among your friends. If you've learned one thing, if it has been an eye opener to you, if this video has made any meaning to you, please like it and share and subscribe to the channel. Next video, in subsequent video, I'm going to be delving deeper into each of these skills and explaining you practically how to acquire these skills. I'm going to be helping my viewers to acquire these skills. So please like and share. Thank you for watching. Have a great time.